Lecciones preliminares. El calendario español. In this video, we will be learning how to use the calendar in Spanish to describe dates and a little bit about something called your Saint's Day. Los días de la semana son lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, y domingo. Notice that these do not get capitalized. They're all masculine words. By this I mean, you see that the L word for the indicates that these are masculine words. So, if you wish to say on Monday, you would write el lunes, or on Tuesday, el martes. Definitely, if you want to say that something happens repeatedly, for example, yo voy a la escuela los lunes. I go on every Monday, los lunes. Now, since all of them except sábado and domingo have an S on them already, you don't have to add another S unless you're saying something happens on Saturdays, los sábados, los domingos. And please notice that the Hispanic calendar, like many calendars around the world, has the first day of the columns as lunes. You might want to write these words down. Hoy equals today. Mañana is tomorrow. We've heard that phrase, hasta mañana. Ayer is yesterday. Pasado mañana, the day after tomorrow, and anteayer, the day before yesterday. Some more words. El fin de semana. Have you ever seen at the end of a film the word fin? That means end. So word for word, this phrase is the end of week. And then la semana pasada, la semana que viene, todos los días. Now, if we see that the word day is días, then that means there's a slight difference in the way it's literally translated. Really, the phrase todos los días means all the days. For example, todos los días de la semana, all the days of the week. And what's cool is you can take out the word días and replace it and say, for example, every Saturday by saying todos los sábados, or every Tuesday, todos los martes. You can even do that same thing with the phrase la semana pasada. Change the A to an O, and you can put in a day of the week and say last Tuesday, el martes pasado, last Tuesday. Fue means was, and el primero is the word for the first day of the month only. You don't say el uno de septiembre, you say el primero de septiembre. The logical connection is to group the months into the seasons. Las estaciones del año son el invierno, la primavera, el verano y el otoño. Los meses del invierno son diciembre, enero y febrero. La primavera es marzo, abril y mayo. El verano es junio, julio y agosto. Y el otoño es septiembre, octubre y noviembre. The seasons are just like the days and the months. They're not proper nouns, so they don't get capitalized. Articles, when you say, for example, June, you don't say el junio, but you will use them with the seasons. La primavera es bonita. El invierno es fantástico. And yes, there's only one of the four seasons which is a feminine word, and we notice this because it has the word la instead of the word el written in front of it. Please be careful of spelling and pronunciation of these. Go back in this video and watch it a couple of times and listen to the way those words are pronounced. Okay, now that we've got the months and the days and the calendar set, here's how we're going to write the date, la fecha. And the question is, ¿cuál es la fecha de hoy? Here's the structure, and here are some examples. Hoy, today, hoy es el 15 de octubre de 1986. If I change the question to ¿cuál es la fecha de mañana?, it would answer, mañana es el 23 de mayo de 1994. And if you want to know what day was yesterday, ¿cuál fue la fecha de ayer? The answer, fue el 10 de abril de 1998. Now, those are the old style from the 20th century. Now that we're in the 21st, we have to add one little letter to our phrase. Hoy es el 25 de enero del 2010. Pasado mañana es el 2 de julio del 2012. In most cases, when writing the date out in a sentence, you will write the date as a numeral as opposed to the word. There is one exception. Whenever talking about the first day of a month, instead of writing uno, you will write it with this superscript O beside it, which reminds us that when we say it, we say, hoy es el primero, here in this with O, de enero del 2000. Mi cumpleaños es el primero de agosto. What's a cumpleaños? Do you know? And here are some ways to abbreviate. El 4 de julio would be written one of these two ways. Notice the day comes before the month. You might get confused at first. You might think this is April 7, but it isn't. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, that's 100, 101, 101, 134, 134, 199, and here are some other ones, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. The ones in yellow, you don't really need to learn yet, but can you see how you write them? 200, 300, 400, etc. And finally, Hispanic people are often named after a Catholic saint who has been honored on the day they're born. And they then celebrate two birthdays. Their cumpleaños, where you say feliz cumpleaños, and then a more religious holiday might take place for them where they go to church and light candles and say some sort of prayer or have a service to honor the saint for that particular day of the calendar. And in that case, you would say to the person, Feliz Dia de tu Santo, Happy Saint's Day. And if you're interested in this notion, I have a link. If you hit the hotspot here, find your Saint's Day, it'll take you to the link, and you can find out what days born on that day actually take the name of the saints, one of those saints who was honored on that day.